Over the last 10 years, Honda's won more U.S. News and World Report awards than any other brand. And now, for the second straight year, Honda's been named the best car brand for 2023. Come get your Honda today at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Siga Lane.
Some things never change at WAFB.
Wi-Fi. You think it's because of the fog?
Perhaps. You know what? Let's blame it on that. I say we blame it on that.
Welcome to WAFB Plus, everybody. 9:15 every Monday through Friday. Stepping you to and through some of this here. Dr. Steve's about to join us with a check on the forecast, but he's fighting Wi-Fi like you guys are fighting the fog. So I got going this morning, got out of my neighborhood, and I live in a little bit of a valley, not the valley. But a little bit of a valley, like 3, 4, 5 feet, a little bit lower than the main road that my neighborhood dumps out onto. And depending on the fog, some days it's noticeably thicker, like just in my neighborhood. And I just get up to the service road or up into the interstate, and all of a sudden it clears up. Not this morning. It was soup everywhere, and I swear it's gotten worse.
Soup. That's a good way to describe it.
It's gotten thicker.
I feel like at the end of 7, though, Steve, we were able to see from the Skyline camera on Essen some cars.
Yeah, it's been fluctuating some. Like when I left my house, Matt, you're talking about now. I leave a little bit later than you, but it was near zero visibility leaving my house this morning. Still dealing with some fog this morning. Our Sky9 camera on top of Our Lady of Lake showing it right now. You can look down there on ground level at Essen. The visibility is a little bit better. Just keep in mind this is on top of the hospital, so it's up a little bit, but the fog is still very much there. At the airport in Baton Rouge right now, 1 mile visibility, same Gonzales, Houma, New Orleans still at a 1/4 mile, so we do have a dense fog advisory technically in effect for at least another hour through 10 o'clock. That could even get extended. I do think some of this will let up, but especially around the lakes, if you have to cross the causeway for any reason today, just keep in mind, or if you have to go down I-55 around Maurepas, that fog may not move much around the lakes at all today. Now, I spent much of the morning on 9 News this morning talking about how it's going to be a tricky temperature forecast because we had a front that was draped across the area and just kind of meandering. Well, that front has kind of eased through Baton Rouge here over the last hour or so, and we've fallen into the 50s, 57. But look at this temperature gradient. Gonzales is 68, Baton Rouge 57, New Roads 47 right now. And so that front is just ever so slowly inching to the south. Will it continue inching south? Is it going to put on the brakes? Probably going to put on the brakes for at least a while today. We will see. But if this does not rebound to the north at all, then temperatures here in Baton Rouge are going to be in the 50s all day. And some of you north of the capital city are going to have a tough time maybe even get it out of the 40s, where we're going to have 60s and maybe even some low 70s south of I-10. So it's going to be a big gradient. And really depending on where you are is really going to impact the temperatures. If you're getting on the interstate and going from point A to point B, you might hit some pretty big changes. So I did have 60s today. You could probably knock a lot of this down into the 50s. A few passing showers as well. Here's a look at it on future radar. As we pause at noon, you see a few light showers showing up. As we advance this, again, a few light showers continuing into the afternoon. And notice what the HRRR was showing. It did have temperatures here in the 60s this afternoon. That's what the assumption. The front was either over or a little bit north of Baton Rouge, but right now it has slipped a little bit to our south. So probably going to run a bit cooler than what is shown. This evening, we're still seeing a few of these little showers streaming up to the northeast right on into tonight. Not talking big impacts, but just overall going to be kind of an ugly day with clouds and some passing showers around. Now, coming into today for the month of January, by the way, today, last day of January if you lost track, but coming into today, just under 10¼ inches of rainfall at the airport, good enough for the 6th wettest January in record. And our records go all the way back to the 1890s, so go back a ways. We would need about 1/3 of an inch of rain today to crack the top 5. That appears to be a somewhat low possibility that we would get that much rain, but can't completely rule it out. But regardless, been a very wet January. That's at the airport. I know at my house and here at Channel 9, both locations were over 12 inches of rain for the month, so some spots have certainly been even wetter. There is more rain ahead and more widespread stuff come Thursday. So let's pick it up Wednesday night. Bit of a warm front trying to lift inland, and by Thursday morning, even though the graph model doesn't show much, I think we'll start to see a few showers showing up, but as the morning progresses, it does show rain and some storms overspreading the area. One other thing to track on Thursday is the track of this area of low pressure. How far inland does it get? Because that's going to kind of dictate where this, what we call the warm sector, the area between the warm front and the cold front, where does that end up? That's important because anybody that gets in that warm sector between the warm front and the cold front could also be in play for a few strong storms. So we'll keep that in mind. Near and south of the warm front, can't rule out a few strong storms. As that low continues eastward, this is now 5 o'clock Thursday. Any threat of severe weather should end pretty quickly, but there's probably still going to be at least some rain on the backside of the low, continuing even into Thursday night. That should, for the most part, taper off before daybreak on Friday. Weather Prediction Center showing on average, most of us seeing anywhere from a ½ inch to up to 2 inches of rain. Could be locally higher in spots, but I'm not expecting a repeat of what we saw on Sunday. This should not be as bad, but given how much rain we've seen, the rivers are elevated right now. The Weather Prediction Center does have a level 2 out of 4 slight risk of flooding for much of our area just because the ground is so saturated and we can't handle a whole lot more rain. Now, I mentioned too that potential of a few strong storms depend on how far inland the warm front, that area low pressure gets. So right now, Storm Prediction Center basically has from Lafayette through Baton Rouge to north of Hammond, and then south of that line under a level 1 out of 5, marginal risk of severe weather. It's something else we'll keep an eye on. But today, tomorrow, lots of clouds. The gloomy weather continues. A few passing showers and trending cooler with that front slipping to the south. In fact, tomorrow morning, mid-40s. That'll be noticeably cooler. A high of only 61 tomorrow. Thursday, rain and some embedded storms that get out of here probably before daybreak on Friday, and cooler again. Friday's high only 58. By Saturday morning, we're down to the mid-30s. Here's the good news, though. Weekend right now does look dry. We've got the Crew of Oshun coming up on Saturday, Scotlandville. That starts at noon. Looks like it'll be dry for that. Crew of Mutts downtown Sunday. That parade starts at 2. Looks dry for that one as well. Next week, temperatures quickly rebound and rain chances start to return by the mid part of next week, guys.
All right, Steve, not too bad.
Oh, there's so much going on. Everybody getting ready for that big front on Thursday, and the one sitting on top of us right now, literally, that I can't get over the temperature difference from New Rose to Gonzales.
I know.
I mean, look, the front's got to be somewhere. It just happens to be sitting on top of us, but that's what a difference in degrees.
Yeah, and with it moving so slowly right now, that, like I was saying, if you have to go, Baton Rouge to New Roads, or if you're going Baton Rouge down towards Gonzales or New Orleans, you're gonna feel a change from point A to point B. So just make sure you account for that. You may be, it would depend on your location, may be kind of mild and driving into cooler weather or vice versa. So yeah, it's quite the change around the area.
Have a closet in the back of the car, apparently.
Essentially. Steve, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, man. Okay, so all that's going on. Weather clearly a headline. This a headline as well. This became a headline the moment it happened. An update now on that shooting at the parking lot of that Waffle House.
The spokesperson with East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office letting us know the identity of those two men found in the vehicle. It's 37-year-old Horace Watson and 33-year-old Leonard Leslie. And Matt, I think you pointed something out. This picture is actually from Travis Spradling, a photographer with The Advocate. If you blow it up a little bit, you'll see how many bullet holes there are on the side of this car. That's not just one or two, just a drive-by shooting. I mean, this is
I was
2
counting
dozen?
yesterday. Yeah, it's like 2 dozen. It's like 24, 25 different markers you see here.
Wow.
And so it's just nobody's making it out of that car alive.
No.
That amount of force coming at you that quick. It's just, and you can see obviously where the window's heavily targeted. So, what happened beyond the shooting? What was going on? What was used? This is. I think you kind of get an idea what weapon was used here, but that is part of the investigation as they lead that. Look, every Waffle House around town, pretty popular spot all the time, right? This got very, very sideways in one parking lot of a Waffle House in Baton Rouge. Now the investigation is into why it all happened.
Still no lead on who
exactly
may have done this. There's no suspect in mind right now, but that is a very telling image.
Oh
Surely, if you were driving past Segan Lane overnight Sunday into Monday, if you heard something, if something just seemed off, please call in a tip to Crime Stoppers line. You just never know how they can use that piece of information and help move that investigation further along. And again, that cash reward you could be eligible for that anonymous little tip. That picture just takes your breath away.
It really does. And every time you see it, you realize what those markers are.
Yeah.
My goodness. All right. Check the story out right there. It's waiting for you online. This kind of, well, we saw the full spectrum with this story this morning, right?
Yeah.
A manhunt and then canceled.
Point Cobie Parish Sheriff's Office really on it.
Yeah,
so
quickly.
They actually let us know, hey, we are looking for this guy. Started with the police.
Not this guy.
Nope, not that guy. This guy. Started with a traffic stop in Livonia. Livonia PD actually trying to pull this man over on Reliable Lane.
Reliable
of
Lane,
all names, right? I know. Sounds too good to be true. But they pulled that call out right before our morning show. Well, during our show, 9 News this morning, they said, look, all clear, we got him.
We got him. Found him, arrested again. And so, that was one of the stories that Dion was following from this very alert center earlier this morning. We want to make sure that, of course, we're working with investigators, all the law enforcement in the area. When they put something out like that, and potential concern, there was active warrants out for his arrest already and disappears into a field. Be careful. So that's why we do the story. And then all of a sudden, got him. We want to make sure that we let you know that as well, of course.
Yes, so the good news there, he has been found this morning back in police custody as of 9:26.
That's going on. This as well.
Gosh.
About 1:30 this morning.
Yeah.
Fire at a duplex in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, displacing 10 different people, 10 different families. So our Brandon Shackelford, our photographer, actually drove by right after our show to see what was left, right? When you talk about a fire that displaces 10 people, from the outside on the exterior, it doesn't look like there was anything, but internally, he said, and that's what Baton Rouge fire crews tell us, that's where all the damage is. So at this point, you've got 10 people still looking for a new place to stay. That's a lot.
It was, and the reason you're not seeing a lot of damage out there, we could hear on the scanners this morning, and again, it got going about 1:30, we could hear in real time how quickly these crews got out there. I mean, it was very, very fast. Reported fire and then working fire. It's kind of how they go through the process, and then boom, another bell rung just to get more units on scene. Knocked it down real quick, right? An electrical circuit, electrical fire, that kind of a thing. And so they were able to contain that fire to that upstairs unit. Bit of water damage in some other spots, which is why you have 10 people displaced right now. Red Cross helping out as they always do. But that's pretty quick, to your point. To Brandon's point, no visible damage from the outside. That's pretty quick work from FD.
Up to 100%. Thank you to the hardworking firefighters to get that out. But as for what exactly triggered all of the fires to start, investigators are looking into it.
Waiting for you right there if you want to check in on it a little bit. Wow. Okay. This gigantic story continues to be this woman, Whitney Ard, in court this morning.
Emotions hearing expected today. She actually pleaded not guilty to the death of her toddler. The toddler dying after the coroner found acute fentanyl poisoning in the child's system. And so today we expect the judge to lay out, okay, what could the possible emotions be as we move forward to a trial? Well, we're going to have a crew member sitting in court today to find out what comes of it, whether it's actually happening, if it's delayed, or whether the judge decides to grant any motions here.
So again, a gigantic headline as it was going on. We know it's keeping, a lot of folks want to know, obviously, where we are with all this, the latest movement. You look at this little face and you want to know the very latest. So again, as Liz mentioned, we'll be in court. We'll let you know whatever the judge ultimately decides is happening today and what that means going forward.
That's it. Big story to follow.
Big time. Speaking of big stories, the idea is preventing big stories from happening when it comes to potentially an assault on you as you maybe just kind of walking around doing your thing. Self-defense and self-defense classes. This is a specific one for some specific folks.
We're talking about female college students, right? And you hate that you even need to talk about this or that it's being offered, but it's all about being prepared. You never think you're going to be the victim until you're in that situation. So how do you be best prepared? How do you equip yourself with the tools, the skills that you need to maybe ward off an attacker or to defend yourself in a situation that you never see coming? There's an opportunity.
Equalizer courses, right? I'm sure you've heard the name before. A lot of organizations offer those kinds of things and they use that terminology, the equalizer. The whole idea is to equalize, or actually take advantage of, you get on the upper hand there, any kind of situation like that. Learning that self-defense, the best tactics for different situations. And so there's an opportunity today at the LSU Rec Center, the UREC Center, for anybody from, look, it's not just LSU, it really is, as mentioned, the undergrad women out there from LSU, Southern, BRCC, a good opportunity tonight.
Please get involved. Please share the word with anyone you know who could take advantage of this. Great opportunity for, again, just making sure you're prepared.
Please do. LSU women's basketball was prepared last night.
Well, let me tell you.
They put on a nice little show against typically what is one of the stronger teams on the schedule, right? Tennessee also coming in at 8-0 in conference play.
Right.
They took them down last night. We were talking to our friend Jordy Collada about it this morning. And then he talked to somebody pretty, important in that equation.
The janitor?
Yes. Oh, trust me, you don't
the
get
most
things.
important.
You don't get things done without.
No. Coach Kim Mulkey.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the
one.
one.
The GOAT, the Queen, the legend.
It was so good.
Yeah.
It was hilarious this morning when we asked him. We just casually, hey, Jordy, who are you talking to this morning? He just casually, he's like,
Kim Mulkey.
Kim Mulkey, and just let it sit there. For a minute. We're just like, wait, what? It's a good get. It's a good get after a nice big win.
Oh, so they are just wrapping up their conversation now. Our digital team's working to make sure you can watch that here on WAFB+. So come noontime, right around lunch, listen to that conversation. That's something you want to get in on. Kim Mulkey, come on.
I know, right?
That's a good get.
This is, gosh, this team's been fun to follow, and it's fun watching. Angel Reese do her thing, and Alexis do her thing, Ashley Johnson do her thing, and it's a fun group to watch kind of figure themselves out.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of folks who are just coming in from different parts and just trying to make something work. And my gosh, they've made it work. Top 5 team in the country right now.
It's been so exciting to
really
watch,
kinda has.
and it's not done. We've still got so much more of the season left.
You can hear them. You can hear it in their voice when they talk about, we're not done. This needs to be all the time. This kind of momentum, this kind of effort, this kind of play. This is for a team that's sitting at 21-0. They feel like they have not accomplished. They sound like they feel like they haven't accomplished anything yet. Still a lot to do. And if that's the case, it should be a heck of a finishing ride.
I love that you and Jordy were talking about, and this is way before I was here, so you guys have the collective memory of that electric spark that used to fill the PMAC.
Yes.
When it comes to games like this, Sue Gunter days, this is a big deal when you talk about bringing back that kind of feeling.
It was amazing when you go back to, you're going back now obviously to the Sue Gunter days and then obviously the Simone Augustus, the Sylvia Fowles days, those 5 straight runs to the Final Four. It was ridiculous. And that place was packed all the time. And to see it last night, the whiteout, and to hear people who've been here for a couple decades and call that the craziest they've seen, that's something real. That's something real. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
And just a reminder, his conversation is going to be ready again at noon today, later on for you. Oh, I can't wait to hear how she is recapping the game.
You know what? It's not like I know Kim Mulkey of any personal regard, but you kind of know her as
friends.
Oh yeah, exactly. Coming over for lunch all the time.
2 goats in the house.
But she's going to be talking about, because of the style of coach she is, complimentary, but she's going to be doing the same thing that they're doing.
Yeah.
We haven't done anything.
Yeah.
The road ahead is what we're focusing on. But yeah, I want to go back and listen.
Me too.
Yeah.
12 o'clock today.
Yep, there you go.
Hey, Steve.
What's up?
So we're talking about all things good in the world, including LSU women's basketball. But did you know that today is National Hot Chocolate Day?
No, I did not, Liz. Tell me about it.
Listen, today is the day to sit in the freezer. If you have a walk-in freezer, which I don't think normal people do.
Well, we have some friends in the restaurant business. We can maybe go do that.
Well, you sit in the freezer often.
Well, it's too warm
She's a
outside.
Chicago
Well, we started the story out saying today, bundle up, grab a warm cup of hot cocoa and sit outside. It's already hot, Steve. I'm trying to find reasons to enjoy
yourself. I think 57 in South Louisiana, Baton Rouge right now.
Well, true.
That's hot chocolate weather in our part of the world.
I'm so traumatized from yesterday. It was 70 degrees. I put on a coat and I was sweating. From the door to the building of Channel 9 to my car, I was sweating, so I'm still traumatized.
South Louisiana got us feeling some ways. So yeah, there you go, National Hot Chocolate Day.
So key question here.
Okay.
They were showing the little packet.
Yeah.
You guys use water or milk when you do that?
Milk.
You have to
It's
use
got to
milk.
be milk, right?
You have to use the milk.
Yeah, they were kind of showing water, I think.
It's not bad with water, but there's a distinct difference with hot cocoa made with milk and water.
If you don't got the milk in the fridge, maybe it's a little past due.
Yeah.
You can throw the water in there.
Yeah.
But no, even my kids are like, "Where's the milk?" You got to make
it's
that.
just the real way.
It's
you
creamy.
know, you add little marshmallows in it.
We'll,
Okay.
we'll throw like the actual real chocolate in there that the wife tries to hide from my son.
You guys, y'all are fancy.
They are
Over
doing
We are
it
a little
fancy.
fancy, little fancy dancy.
I
Yeah,
love
that's
it.
right.
You guys are foodies over
Oh
there.
yeah, oh trust me. I made ribs over the weekend. Yeah, because those are cheaper than
The
buying.
list on
the-
here. I know, Steve. Come
time.
on, talk about it. Someday, 9 News Now. Making a call. Oh, he's got pictures.
got
So
the
to
I got the
add
smoker.
insult to injury,
Need a smoker.
look at
Hello.
the smoker's going. Oh, he's bringing it to you. He's bringing it to you. A live photo, folks.
There you go.
There we go.
You ever need to find Matt? You know, he loves taking store tips at Costco while he's there.
That's true.
If you've got your smoker questions, maybe some grilling questions, he's the guy to ask because he's got a meat guy.
They're on sale.
Yeah.
So good.
Okay.
I did grilled up some vegetables.
Look at you.
We ain't cheap,
that
man.
sounds real good.
I got 3 kids.
You're really stretching a meal.
We did.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's National Hot Chocolate Day. Let's take you to Mars.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay,
Did
why
you ever
not?
Have, did you ever have a favorite stuffed animal as a kid?
I did.
I did too. Mine was a teddy bear. I had a favorite.
Yeah.
Is that what you see here?
I don't know what I'm looking
Me
at.
neither.
Is it kind of creepy? It's supposed to be a teddy bear minus the ears, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do
You
kind
kind
of
of see it?
Yeah.
You kinda see it?
Now
So
that you say that.
It is a rock formation captured from Mars that kind of looks like the teddy bear. So the circle next to the bear's head, actually a surface fracture. It stretches nearly 1.25 miles around there. The eyes, that's a couple of craters there. The snout, apparently the collapsed structure, possibly a volcanic or a mud vent, that kind of a thing that collapsed in on it.
When you let your eyes adjust, you really do. I could almost say like a lion. Like
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm with you.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But
Yeah.
when your eyes adjust, I think once you kind of make out the mouth and the snout.
That's what does it for me too.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm with you.
I'm gonna be honest. Before you said, take us to Mars, and we're looking at this morning, I thought it was a crappy kids art project. I was like, why is part of it 3D? I say that as a kid who made crappy art
I
projects.
love when Savage Liz Co comes out.
She
She
threw it
always
out there.
acts all sweet.
Listen, bless my poor parents, because I was going through a couple things the last time I visited them, and we're talking over the phone because I need to go back and visit them. They're like, look, you got to come back and tell us what we can throw away. And so they've still saved some of these crappy art projects. The pregonona with the macaroni noodles. That
Oh,
you
that's
made.
the good stuff. Yeah. In a
None
pinch.
of that is necessary to
pinch, you
keep
cook the
anymore.
art.
Yeah, but that reminded me of one of those like mold, where you put your handprint
Yeah.
and that crap like
Yeah.
that. This is way cooler.
Just
Now
destroy
you're
stuff.
making me feel bad about all the handprint stuff I've done with my kids and giving it to my wife.
No, but at least that's a sweet gift. If you keep it for years and years to come, consider that a blessing.
Some point
My
you gotta
parents
get
held
rid
on
of some
to
of that
it.
stuff in the box, man, because you can't have. I mean, all of a sudden that box is
Yeah.
like this, and then
Yeah.
it's bigger, and then,
Right.
and then it's taking up the whole room.
And again, good parenting. My parents, good parents.
Yeah.
The creator of said kid crap is saying that it was crappy. So I give him permission to throw it away. Yes.
Coming to a museum near you.
Yes.
Coast Kid Crap.
All right, so if you need somewhere to store all the crap, since we're going down that road today, what could help you is just buy a really big house, really big storage place.
That's clearly the way to
That's a
go.
genius.
We're still talking about big lottery
What?
jackpots. We've been doing this for weeks, so the
Yeah.
Powerball continues to go higher.
Okay.
I think Matt and I just noticed the billboard driving in every
Oh,
morning.
yeah.
So now we're up to the 9th largest jackpot in the history of Powerball. So now we're talking about $613 million.
That was the yesterday?
Yeah.
And now it rolls over?
Yeah.
So what is it now?
653 million.
Oh, okay. The island just got bigger.
All right, yeah,
Steve.
so 613 was the 9th largest.
Right.
Now we're up to 653.
Okay.
Next drawing tomorrow night at 10 o'clock.
Okay. Start dreaming about that island.
You know what? We talk about that billboard that we get to see on the way in.
Yeah.
I didn't see it this morning.
Oh, you didn't?
Fog everywhere.
Wow.
Very
Oh,
true.
that's a good
And
point.
Yeah.
that thing is like blazing lights typically. It's got the
Yeah.
Powerball and the mega, the mega ball right there, whatever, mega
Mega
millions.
Millions.
This morning on sleep deprivation.
Add that into
And
the
apparently
mix.
that is impacting me right now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, it was the fog was everywhere, and it was up high, it was down low, it was right. If I'd have rolled down the did I just do that motion on the rolling down the windows?
Rolling down the windows?
So,
Y'all know what that even means?
It would have climbed into the car with me. It was that thick.
Yeah.
So, what does that even?
You do that when you're popping in your cassettes.
What's
In
a
your-
cassette? You mean like the 8-tracks?
Yeah,
absolutely.
in your Oldsmobile with the wood paneling.
Hey man,
I see
don't
the
knock
whole
the
thing coming
Oldsmobile.
along. I know.
Those street boats were fantastic.
Caparata House had.
I think most American households did. That was a classic car.
73 Cutlass.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
That was actually a really cool car.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
There was a ton of space in those cars.
That thing,
Why?
that was a beast.
took up the
Yeah,
city
it
block,
was.
man. Those things were boats.
It was a tank.
Yes, it really was.
Yes.
No parallel park on those.
No.
Good luck.
Ooh.
So if you are driving, whatever you're driving out there, be careful.
Now's the perfect time to discover the enhanced Mazda CX-5, named the 2022 IIHS Safety Pick Plus Award winner, its highest safety award honor. Choose from over 55 CX-5s available at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.